Yeah, the Buffalo Roam is back off of, I guess you could call it hiatus. We had the candidates, and then we had general counsel, and then we had powwow, and then
Well, to be fair, we were looking for Rick Mercer.
And the post, and then we're off looking for Rick Mercer. We never did find Rick Mercer, but
one of these days we'll find him.
One of these days, but we're back, and we're back because of Saracen Casino Resort. Thanks to them, they are proud sponsors of Where the Buffalo Roam. Experience the excitement of Saracen Casino Resort, proudly owned and operated, of course, by the Quapaw Nation. Whether you're looking for thrilling slot machines, live table games, incredible dining, the best in live entertainment, or a relaxing getaway, Saracen offers a little something for everybody, from those winning moments on the casino floor to the exceptional hospitality throughout the resort. It's a perfect destination for your next escape. I highly recommend the Red Oak down there.
Yeah, visit Saracen Casino Resort in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and see why it's become one of the region's premier entertainment destinations. You must be 21 or older to enter the casino, and please play responsibly.
I feel like we needed a professional for this next part. Everett, would you kindly assist us with this, the important part?
Need help? If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER or visit your state's problem gambling resources for confidential support.
Hey, there you go. I couldn't think of a better way to bring in. Of course, we're joined by Everett Bandy. Thank you so much for coming back, making our first show off of hiatus, a special one, because we understand we've got a special event. But I can't imagine there's a scenario where people don't know who you are, what you do for the tribe, but in case somebody's been under a rock or doesn't know, or people outside Quapaw Nation are checking out our podcast for the first time, would you kindly tell them who you are, what you do, and your history of Quapaw Nation briefly?
Sure. My name is Everett Bandy. I'm with the Quapaw Nation Culture Division, and the Culture Division includes the museum, library, the gift shop, the Tribal Historic Preservation Office, and the Language Department. And I've been with Quapaw Nation for well over a decade now. Don't even know the exact number. And anyway, I oversee the Culture Division and get to enjoy doing a lot of things.
I like how you said it nonchalantly, because literally you cover so many things, so many important decisions, facets, aspects of Quapaw Nation run through your department. You said that
the important parts.
Yeah, the part that when they don't leave to John and I, we will definitely screw it up. But that's cool. I mean, you and your department and the people that you work with get to have have a hand in all the important things of Quapaw Nation. That is such a very cool aspect to your job, including the one we're here to talk about today, a big event that's occurring in August.
I'll back up and talk a little bit about how we noticed this, but we were looking at the Quapaw Nation Governing Resolution, as we commonly call it. It's actually officially titled A Resolution Delegating Authority to the Quapaw Tribal Business Committee to Speak and Act in behalf of the Quapaw Tribe of Indians. Is the actual title, but this is an original copy. There's not a whole lot of those floating around. Barbara Collier, who's been on your show, found that in her family collection. I believe it was her mother's, who I believe served on the very first Quapaw Nation Business Committee, if I remember correctly. And
so this is an original.
It's an original, yes. And there's not a lot of those floating around. So there's actually chair, our first tribal chairman, Robert Whitebird's signature is there. And we are going to be highlighting this at the event. But we noticed just the other week that this is going to be the 70th anniversary of the governing resolution. We were working on our museum exhibit that we have going on right now about Quapaw Sovereignty Through Time. And Barbara found that document and brought it in, and we were looking at it and talking about it, and then we suddenly realized this is the 70th anniversary. And so just, that was literally a week or two ago, and we started coming up with an idea. We felt like we should probably commemorate that, since Constitution is being discussed right now, and come 75 years from now, we may not be operating on the governing resolution.
Right. Or 5.
Yeah, that's what five years from now, we may not. We may have a Constitution. So we wanted to have a dinner and let people come and talk about the history of Quapaw Nation over the last 70 years, and have this document on view there, as well as we have some lovely photos of different things the tribe's accomplished over the last 70 years that we were going to have at the event as well.
I feel like you and I have a pretty good and intimate knowledge of this document. I served on the Constitution Committee for 5 years. You with your department have been attached to this document for a long time. But for those that don't know, can you talk about how this was introduced to the Quapaw people?
Oh, that's
Because this was not a document that was written by the Quapaw people.
No.
This is one that was introduced.
It's a bit of a, there's a really long answer, and there's probably a shorter ways to answer it. And I'll try not to go into the long one, I guess. But the Quapaw Nation had a chief, and we did not have a governing document, as you know. And we were waiting to receive a settlement, and the government wasn't super thrilled about giving. I guess an abbreviated way to say it is the government wasn't super thrilled about the idea of giving money settlement to a form of government that wasn't written down in their mind. And so anyway, there was much discussion and much to do about it, and there's much to be said about that. But this was the general structure of it was suggested from the BIA. It's similar to what they call IRA or Indian. Do you remember what that stands for? Indian Reorganization Act.
Yeah.
It's similar to the Indian Reorganization Act government forms that were proposed, which is interesting because our tribe, of course, did not want to participate in the IRA.
I think we're one of two tribes currently that does not operate off IRA.
Yeah, but then it's like a similar.
Yeah.
So it was kind of an interesting turn of events, but they after much to do eventually ended up settling on this resolution and elected Robert Whitebird to be our first chairman, and the rest is history. We've had a lot of things grow out of that new government.
Yeah, I feel like this could be it's a document that definitely needs to be respected, right? It has led the Quapaw people for a long time, but it is also kind of I don't know. There's some issues with it, right? Might be some people that draw issue. Some might even say that the Quapaw signed this basically under duress. Like they had to sign this in order to get that settlement. So it is something to be revered, though, and that's the part that we're here to focus on today, right?
Yeah.
How long did it take them to craft this and take basically the template and make it their own, or is any of that that timeline documented?
I don't think I think this is just the template. I don't know if we molded it.
Well, the reason I ask is, you know how long the Constitution is, and at this moment currently it's still going on.
This document has been molded and amended, right? Amended several times. Specifically in the 90s, it was amended. I want to say it was like 12 times.
That sounds right.
12 amendments in the 90s. But the basics of this document has been the meat and potatoes, so to speak, has been what has guided the Quapaw people through the majority of our
Is that why you think that the document has endured for so long without it, relatively? It's been amended and changed, but I mean, the bones of it have been there for 70 years. I mean, what do you think it is about that document in particular that has endured? I mean, talking to Barbara, has she given you kind of any insight into what it was like to put this together, or like you said, under duress? It wasn't that they had to, or making the best of a bad situation, or anything.
Everett's probably got a lot better answer to that than I do. My whole thing is, whether it was under duress or not. The Quapaws have looked at this document, and for the majority of the time that we've been led by this document, didn't have any money, right? So there was really nothing like holding us back. I think once the Quapaws came into some money, that's where we kind of maybe saw some fallacies in this document. But again, we're here to talk about the better part of it, I guess.
I think that's a really great question, Barry, and I think that a big part of the answer would be the Quapaw people themselves, because this document
goes back to that every time.
Oh, it does. I think that when this was agreed upon, they found a government and they made it work. And at that point in time, I'm hoping that we'll have a lot of elders and maybe past business committee members will come and talk about their experiences and what they remember as children. But the chairman was literally operating the tribe out of the trunk of their vehicle at one time.
Yeah.
And the tribe didn't have fancy things like bingo halls, casinos. The tribe didn't have a building. And eventually, after a while, they were able to rent a building, but they had to grind and make things work.
Mhm.
And it was through determination and through a lack of giving up. And they really weren't set up for success, but they did the best with what they had at that time. And I think that's part of the reason why it's still here. If you look around in Oklahoma, we're one of very few of the tribes left that has not switched over to having a full-blown constitution. There's most tribes in Oklahoma have, and we haven't. And I think a lot of that just boils down to our people have just kept pushing and making things work and learning how to do with what we have, and have found what they liked in it, and we've done amendments for what hasn't worked.
Yeah.
And so here we are today. It's now 70 years old, and it's that's quite a long time when you think about it. We went from having no buildings, no nationwide economy, no tribal departments, no social services. We didn't even have an enrollment department.
Wow.
Barbara just actually mentioned that I think they operated off a $20,000 grant to run the entire tribe. That's to think about going from that to the scale that we're at today is, I mean, it's
I mean, it really is incredible. Of course, you and your department do a wonderful job of having events like this. Of course, August 19th is when it's at Quapaw Community Building, 5681 South 630 Road in Quapaw. Doors open at 5 and the dinner will start at 6. I feel like we just had an event with you not too long ago, of course, the remembrance of a treaty.
The 200-year, yeah.
200-year one. What kind of emotions come to you when talking about a document like this, or like the 200th anniversary
Of the 1824
remembrance of the treaty like that? When you're throwing one of these events, what kind of emotions do you feel putting these events together?
I mean, I think it brings up a lot of reflection over the lives that have taken place and went into this. And there are people who have put their whole lives into this, into making things succeed for our tribe, and we're just part of a path of that all happening. And it makes me reflect on it, and also hope that people in the community will enjoy the opportunity to see it, to think about it, to reflect on those same things, and maybe have the chance to express something that maybe they did or maybe their grandparents did to bring the Quapaw Nation to where we are today. And I think that it's important to observe these key dates, because without that history, where would we be? We have to remember where we came from to know where we're going.
I can't think of a better way to honor those people that are no longer here than to get together, talk about it, remember them, and talk about their sacrifices, and the fact that we're still here talking about it today was probably the greatest.
Well, like Barry said, I mean, these are historic names, for Quapaw Nation. The first chairman, Robert Whitebird, Harry Gilmore. I mean, those are pretty renowned and profound names within Quapaw Nation. So.
And we're hoping to not only just observe the date and have the resolutions and photos available and have people talk, but we're also hoping to create a video out of that, which I hope that folks who aren't, maybe those who don't live in the area or who aren't able to attend the event will be able to see the video. Maybe they'll learn something, or maybe they'll see something that makes them experience a positive emotion for remembering what our different people have done throughout the generations.
So we're going to have photography, different photographs showcased. I know I talked to you a little bit earlier about having some of those blown up. We still have to pick out which ones we're going to get blown up. But we're going to have, of course, the original signed document, invite those to share memories. But what else on that night can we kind of expect?
Well, I'm hoping that we're putting out an open invitation for anyone who served on the Quapaw Business Committee, Quapaw elders who remember the early years of our business committee, or Quapaw Nation employees who served more than 20 years. And I'm hoping that those folks that have these key stories will come out and share them. And I think that's really going to be the highlight of the night, on top of just commemorating and seeing photos and seeing the resolution and spending time together as a community. I'm really hoping that we'll have this experience where our elders and past leaders will come out and talk about things and talk about what they remember whenever, back in the 60s or what have you. And I really think that that's going to be the highlight of our evening.
Yeah. I think that, I'm really proud of like what our departments have done working together. The culture videos, voices of the O-Gah-Pah, stories from the home place, those things. To think that we've had all this history and we haven't had it kind of locked down like that before. And what you guys are doing, it's an amazing thing. So just keep up the good work, because
Thanks.
we need that.
Because without people in your departments like you, the stuff has gone to the ether of wherever, and there's been unfortunately too much of that already before we've been able to try and document this, and your departments do such a wonderful job. Well, last question for me, and this is a hypothetical, is the people that are on that document that are no longer with us, how do you think that they would view things the way they're operated today from that time period?
Gosh.
I don't know.
That's a tough question.
That's a real tough question. I don't know if they would. I don't know if they would recognize, the level of change that happened after the bingo hall, and in a short amount of time. I think that they would be. I think that they, but I can't say that they would be happy with everything. I have no idea, but I do think that they would be happy to know that our nation is still functioning, still here, that we're prospering. We have
spirit of endurance has to make them.
We have good businesses. We have engaged citizenship, and we still come together, and we still have our annual powwow. We still have our people getting together, our general council meetings. I think that they would be. I don't know what they would feel about everything, but I think they would be happy about that.
That was one of the great themes for the 200th treaty. I don't want to say celebration, but remembrance was Quapaw Nation. We're still here, and don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. But again, that's because of work that you do in your great department. Again, one more time, that is August 19th at Quapaw Community Building. 5 p.m. doors open, dinner at 6, and we just encourage everybody to come join.
Come together.
And
It's a community event, and that's one of the big things. I think that's where they would be most proud, is that we are still a community and we still do things together, and that's what the goal is.
Yeah.
Well, aside from this, this is just a fraction of your time with all of the things that you do. Is there anything else while we have you here to take an opportunity to chat about anything?
We're going to do some more culture videos soon, right?
Yeah.
That you want to talk about?
I hope everyone enjoyed the pecan butter with Grandma Beth.
I know I enjoyed it.
Yeah. We got to try
we got to try it.
We got to try the pecan butter. So, but looking forward to doing some more videos with you soon. And this week we have the O-Gah-Pah Language Conference coming up. I'm looking forward to
some
that.
Highlights from it on future shows. But yeah, it's just incredible how you guys keep up with everything and keep culture alive in Quapaw Nation and help preserve our history. And that's the theme of this, is helping preserve our history. Or the Buffalo Roam. Hopefully we'll have you back now that we've got you in the seat, and it's not that bad. Hopefully we'll have you back, talk about all the wonderful things that you do.
I think he'll be back.
Yeah.
He'll be back.
We'll see.